my skin. Diving in, I'm seeking the light. Hell, I know, I think I'd like to give heaven a try. Where all day long we do the impossible, wherever love is found, miracles abound, and all we want is what we were born for, that miracles abound. Wherever love is found. Walk the other mile, a lot of salve and a genuine smile. Head to head, heart to heart, we go hand in hand, hand in hand. Where all day long we do the impossible, wherever love is found, miracles abound, and all we want is what we were born for, let miracles abound. Wherever love is found. Wherever love is found. Woo-hoo-hoo. All day long we do the impossible, wherever love is found, miracles abound, and all we want is what we were born for, let miracles abound. Let miracles abound. Wherever love is found. Wherever love is found. Yeah. It looks like we've done it again. It looks like we've done it again. It looks like we've done it again. Looks like we've done it. Looks like. Thank you. whistling. Rudy toot toot, Pied Piper on the flute. You feeling low? Come with me. Get some pep in your step with a silly little ditty. It's a joy, joy, joy. It's a joy, joy, joy. It's a joy, joy, joy. I gotta thank dear Granddad for having the nerve to sing like a bird. It really makes me so proud. Puffing up my mouth just to make a pretty sound. I don't know why I was made this way, plucking sunny days from cloudy skies. I blow away, yes sir, I will say that I'm so glad to have these pucker lips to kiss my blues away. Joy, joy, joy. Joy, joy, joy. So joy, joy, joy. Thank you.
Where's the CD?
CDs turned into MP3s.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Sean Arrington.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sean Arrington. I like Oh, what a beautiful day it is. Aren't you glad to be alive? Yes, everyone's glad to be alive. We've got a consensus going on. Aren't you glad to be alive at home? What a way to celebrate life by just taking a moment and being grateful for another new day. We all woke up this morning. We've got lovely thoughts in our minds. We have the ability to decide how we are going to react to everything that is going on in our personal lives and beyond. We get to choose. Everybody does, but not everyone is aware they get to choose. So awareness is huge when we choose. Okay, didn't even rhyme very well, but that was yeah, it was out of the blue. Okay. Sean Arrington is our musician today, and we're so grateful to have him here. Kevin is back after many weeks of doing other important things, and we're glad to have him back on the soundboard. God is always here. So let's take a minute and recognize that by turning within and centering. Perhaps think of something you're really grateful for today. There might be a long list. Maybe just, think a little bit, something special this morning that you are just so grateful for. And hold it in your heart space. If you're comfortable doing it, you might want to put your hands over your heart and just whisper to yourself. Say, I am beautiful. Say that. You saying, I am beautiful. Let's say it together. I am beautiful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. My life is a continuum of joy. My life is a continuum of joy. Today is the day of my amazing good fortune. Today is the day of my amazing good fortune. That's from Florence Scovel Shinn. We breathe all that in and we know all that, and we allow ourselves to experience one of the best days we have yet to see. In gratitude and in appreciation for infinite spirit, all that is your name for the divine. May this day light you up in countless ways. May you know you are a conduit of God walking in the world. May you know blessings abundant and divine light within you and everywhere present. And we say or think, thank you, your name for the divine, whatever that is. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. And so it is. We have a daily word reading this morning, and that will be with our board treasurer. Thank you for being on the Board of Trustees, Terry Bayer.
Good morning. Morning. Is that working? No. Not yet. Okay. We'll try it again. Test. There we go.
There you go.
Good.
It's
So
magical.
good morning.
Good morning.
And good. For someone who is challenged to be able to whistle more than that, I so delight in your whistling and your singing and your songwriting. It's wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Really appreciate it. Today is Sunday, August the 28th. The year is 2022. And the word for today is purpose. I pursue my purpose with passion. Over the course of my life, I have discovered what has kindled my passions, captivated my attention, and made me feel most alive. My passions, with an S, my passions lead me to discover my purpose to which I choose to devote my time and my life. My highest spiritual purpose is to live from my divine nature. My divine gifts of life, love, and wisdom express uniquely through my passions, fulfilling me while demonstrating the truth of my being. I listen to the still, small voice of spirit within to discern the best way to fulfill my purpose. I heed its call to learn, discover, and grow. It is never too early or too late to embark upon the journey of a lifetime. I am ready, willing, and more than able. And from John 18, for this I was born, and for this I came into the world, to testify to the truth.
Wow, thank you so much, Terry. I like that extra motion you put in there. And for our nugget this morning, it'll be shared by Nita Matthews Morgan, who is also our prayer chaplain on duty today. So if you have a prayer request, go up to her after the service.
Good morning, beautiful people. One person over here and all these other beautiful people on this side. There's hordes of people here, guys. Thank you for coming back and bringing your body and your presence here for all the rest of us to delight in. Appreciate it. Okay, I was having a hard time. This is a new booklet, but I think this is the only copy, right? There's the whole stack. Okay. Because there were so many good articles in here, but I like this one, Let Go and Let God, because I always want to take that back and manage my life and worry and everything. So this one called to me. And I'm just going to read the action steps at the end of the article that will help us practice the art of presencing, of being in the present moment. Unless we train, or rather untrain ourselves, most of us spend the bulk of our lives focused on the past or the future, often in fear. The more we learn to live in the present moment, the more readily we are able to let go and let God. If you're caught in future what if thinking, ask yourself right now in this very moment, are you basically okay? In this very moment, are you warm? Do you have shelter and food? Are you breathing? That's a good one to answer, right? If you have time to read this sentence, your answer is almost certainly yes. To become present, look around, take a deep breath, and notice the scents, the smells, I'm going to say. Listen to the sounds and the little silences between them. Feel the chair beneath you. Feel the rhythm of your beating heart. Run your right hand gently across the top of your left hand. Notice. Breathe. This little section is called Play in the Fourth Dimension. That one intrigued me. Letting go and letting God doesn't mean becoming a sloth. Oh, that's good to know. Instead, it means we turn our focus from worldly affairs to spiritual consciousness, going into the silence, envisioning the good for yourself, for those you care about, for those you need to forgive, and giving thanks for all the good not only empowers your co-creation, but also helps you feel better immediately. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nita. Make a few adjustments here. Because now it is time for announcements. Yay! Announcements! Woo! Yay! There's a lot of people here. Oh gosh. Would all the people that are here for the first time stand up in the back? Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay. And for those of you that are watching online, please let us know. Send up a little heart, or let us know if it's your first time, or how you're doing this morning, or where you might be watching from, what state, what country. We are delighted that we get people connecting with us from so many different places. So the announcements are kind of long. I might forget a few, but I'm not projecting that. I just did. I will stop that right now. As Nita mentioned, that new booklet is available on the table over there. They're always free, and we will mail them to you, so let us know. Just send an email to UnityAthens@gmail.com, and we'll get one off in the mail to you. You can also get them at unity.org. That's the website for Unity World Headquarters that handles all the publishing. And you can download a copy there, or you can order a free one from them. Thursdays, we are having a class, and it's a wonderful class called The Universe is Calling. We have 11 people in that class, which is just remarkably wonderful, or wonderfully remarkable. And it's a great discussion group. The book is deep and rich, and we love it. Eric Butterworth is always so wise and leads us into so many great discussions amongst ourselves. The next class will start in September. I believe it's the 20th. I'm not sure. Whatever that Thursday is past the 20th, because we've got a Kanuga retreat. Not Kanuga, we got a UMass retreat. And that book will be, in case you want to order it early, it's by Raymond Charles Barker, and it is called The Power of Decision. And it is right here. Fabulous book. I just picked it up last night to look for a little quote or something, and ended up totally rereading the first chapter for about the third time. I took my pencil out because I didn't want to overly highlight it, because it's still in really new condition. That'll be a great book too, and that'll be in person only. We'll get to some Zoom stuff hopefully in the near future. We are starting an unexpected income challenge. The little bags and treats that come with that aren't quite ready yet, but they should be ready this week and next Sunday. And that's always a fun experiment too, because you just agree to be in the program and have a special prayer team praying for your abundance, along with some writings and handouts that help you elevate the thought of your abundance. And the participants agree to tithe 10% of unexpected income to Unity Athens. I have learned so much from doing that program myself over the years. Pride Week is coming up in September. We'd like a few volunteers to help with some things on that. Let me know. And World Day of Prayer is September 7th and 8th. Do hope to have some type of meditation in here for part of that time. There are probably other announcements. Generally, they come to me as we go, so that's awesome too. We had a wonderful, wonderful message given by our own board president here at Unity Athens about her trip to Unity Village and the Labyrinth Walk. That is actually from last Sunday, I believe it was, and it should be in our recording sessions, and we'll get another copy of that up. It's a powerful testimony, not only to Unity Village, but the Labyrinth, and to the retreat was called a New Thought Retreat by descendants of people of African descent. So that I probably messed up a word or so, but anyway, end of announcements. How about another cheer? Yay, awesome. Let's go into meditation. Why? Because it's so good for us. And we breathe, and we think about the things that Nita was talking about too. Was it right hand over left hand? You want to do that for a few moments just to kind of center yourself. Maybe just kind of blessing yourself. Holding the thought of your divinity, your amazing creativity, your ability to choose how you walk in this world, your ability to feel that connection with spirit, the guidance you get, the love you receive. Things you can ask of spirit, like, show me this today, or guide me through that, or bless my friend or my family member, or help me realize complete health and healing in my body. Holding the planet, perhaps, in incredible health and healing. Knowing that it, as an amazing living entity, might be far wiser than any of us trying to fix anything. Healing itself as we help it. We see blessings going from us across the globe, touching areas that may be experiencing conflict or disruptions. Touching people that may be feeling lost, that may not know which way or where to go. We have the power to send out light and love. We are not all of spirit, but we are connected to all of spirit, and that dwells within us. If there's a family member, a friend, a dear one, someone that's not so dear, that's on your mind and on your heart today, send love and light. You might want to put your hands with your palm out and just hold them in light and love, sending light and love, blessing them, knowing they can feel that energy. See them smiling and nodding at you. Yes, thank you. Yes, thank you. And if in your own life there appear to be troubles or angst or worries, perhaps just for now, rather than brushing them aside, Place them in the palm of your hand if you are able. Your left hand palm up. And see your palm filled with the light of God. And place our world in there. And place certain countries in there. And place your dear ones in there. As we move into the silence, these moments of deep quiet, where we feel our alignment, our connection, our willingness to know God. And we breathe and we go into the silence now. Deep peace. Deep peace is given to you in this place, in your heart, in your mind, on your journey. We breathe, knowing we can always, always connect to Spirit, because we are always connected. But we recognize it, we allow it, we call it forth, we center into it. And even if you are meditating for one of the first times, you may find that later today or in the days ahead, messages and nudges and senses of well-being come to you. Because meditation is like opening a door to all that is. We open our eyes when we're ready, perhaps turning on the light, maybe with a stretch. Sean has agreed. I wonder if we could have a song just to kind of move us from meditation into the message. We're so grateful to have you here.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm grateful to be here.
You've been on any adventures lately or anything you want to share?
I went on some adventures in my hometown, Hot Springs, Arkansas, for a little bit. See my dad and a few others, but I kept it close. And it was nice. I'm from there. Walked around, visited a few of my old favorite ghosts. Yeah. And yeah, it was nice. I'm glad to be home. Yeah. I'm not, thank you. I'm not a big fan of flying, but I always fly to stay calm. Yes, I got to be in the clouds and flying at a speed that is basically inhuman. This song is Marianne Williamson's fault.
our deepest fear ain't that we can't do it. We worry more, we can do it too good. It is our light, not our darkness, no. Keeps us into doubting our very worth, asking questions like, who am I to be brilliant? And who am I to be gorgeous? Well, you are a child of God. You are a child of God. That's right, you are a child of God. And my, oh my, what a child of God. You're playing small, it ain't helping us so. You ain't too bright, thinking you're too low. 'Cause we're all meant to shine, shine as children do. Glow and grow with glory through and through and through and through. Yeah, who am I to be exceptional? And who am I to be loved? Well, you are a child of God, that's right. You are a child of God. I say you are a child of God. And my, oh my, what child of God. And actually, who are you not to be? Now it ain't just in some of us, it's in everyone. So just shine and shine, see who shines along. Yeah, man, who am I to be talented? And who am I to be exceptional? Ooh. And who am I to be beautimous? Oh, yeah. And who am I to be loved, loved, loved? Well, you are a child of God, don't forget. You are a child of God. I said you are a child of God. And my, oh my, what a child of God. Look at you. Thank you.
That was awesome. Yay. A couple more quick announcements. We do have these inspirations. Yay, more announcements. Oh boy, let's go. Yeah, I'll just do announcements for the rest of the hour. This inspiration and quotes from Wallace D. Wattles is on the table over there. He was, I think he passed in 1920 or something. So he's a New Thought pioneer. And the other thing, just to maybe mark your calendars ahead of time, the second Sunday in November, which I believe is the 13th, two other Unity churches and I are doing a community swap. This is with Unity of Gainesville, where Danny Spears is minister, and Unity of the Mountains up in Blairsville, where Mike Davis is the minister. And we decided to have a swap Sunday. So I'm going to speak at Blairsville that Sunday, and Danny is going to speak here, and Mike is going to speak at Gainesville. And what we're doing is, if any of the congregants want to come along, now not all of them, because otherwise the speaker here would have nobody in the occasion, except you wonderful live streamers. So if 3 or 4 people want to go up to Blairsville with me that Sunday, think about it. I can put some in my car, or you could go separately. And the group that stays here, they're going to be bringing some of their folks here, so we'll have a bit of a social time with some food and coffee and stuff after the service. So we're very excited about that, and I'm very grateful to Danny Spears for organizing all of that. So not only was I into Raymond Charles Barker, I watched a YouTube of Michael Beckwith, who I always get very inspired by. And I was thinking about Eric Butterworth, and then Edwene Gaines popped her head up in my mind. So lots going on in my mind that I'm going to share with you, with the basic thought of Spirit is always telling us what to do and where to go. Now, this is not like you need to do this, like maybe mom or dad did to you, but just giving these nudges, because we get to choose, right? Because we're individuals and we're grown and we get to choose. And Spirit's told me many times in my life to do this or that, and I said, hell no. Including about 25 years ago when Spirit told me to be a minister. And I laughed in the Unity Church I was sitting in up in Milwaukee, and I said, get out of here. He said, you're going to do that one of these days. I go, my dear minister friend, Reverend Sue Ellen Kelly up there, talked to me after the service. She said, you know, it's your choice. You never. I said, good, because that's not my path. Well, it was, okay, and I was very happy once I went on that path. But it's like God is giving you a go. It's time to do this. It's time to launch this next part of your life, or this way of doing this next part of your life, or this connection into the next part of your life, or in not the next part, the part you're in right now. It's try this path. Or, you know, you're ready for this or that you think you might not be ready for. Because we are divine and we are holy. And the other thing that totally got me was NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt. Because they had an interview there with Charlie Blackwell Thompson, who is the first NASA flight director. She is the launch director for NASA's Exploration Ground Systems program, which is going to send the Artemis I into space tomorrow morning at 8:33 a.m. Now, this is an unhumaned, instead of saying man, unhumaned spacecraft, because it was all about man before, right? One great step, one step for mankind and all that. It's humankind. Anyway, she always wanted to be with NASA. She always did, from the time she was in high school. And she actually, in college, got to visit their whole site down there. And I think at that point there was one female in that whole crew getting prepared for one of the flights. And now we've got 30. And when this flight does have humans on it to go to the moon, this time there will be a person of color and there will be a female leaving their boot tracks on the moon. And when I heard that, I thought, no high heels. No, it probably won't work up there. You might puncture right through the surface. Not that all females wear high heels, but boots. What does she get to do? She gets to make sure everything tomorrow morning is totally in alignment, that all systems are working, that everything is ready. I imagine she'd be watching the weather, and I'm sure there's a lot of people helping her with these things. But she's watching everything, because when everything is ready, Kevin, would you put that slide up? This is what she gets to say. You have a go. And I had Kevin put it up there because it could sound like if I'm just saying it, you have to go. That would feel like, okay, you got to go. No, you have a go. Is Spirit saying that to you? Yeah. You have a go for this or that in your life. You have a way forward. Everything is lining up with this or that. You have a go. Sometimes we don't listen. Sometimes we don't hear it. Sometimes it comes later. But picture that. Here is this spaceship, this rocket getting launched to the moon. It's not going to land. It's going to circle around it, do some testing. It takes, I think, 6 weeks for it to do the whole trip. 6 weeks. Because I was wondering, how long does it take to get to the moon? So maybe 3 weeks. I don't know. Maybe it's faster coming home. Maybe it's longer. Sometimes you're on a trip, it seems like it's much longer going home the same distance. But you have a go. Listen for that go. When you're in these days and the days ahead, what is Spirit telling me? How do we most easily listen? I think by being in the quiet. I was feeling a little busy this morning, and I went into the meditation room. I was like, just everything started to feel more in alignment, more back in peace. Always a lot of things on my mind. All these notes I have that I don't even read, but they're there. So in popped Edwene Gaines, who now lives in Louisiana. I've been to 3 of her retreats up in Alabama, when she was up there in the northern part of Alabama. Menton, I think it is. Been on 3 of her walk on fire exercises. The first year I went, it rained, and I was so grateful because I was really afraid to walk on the hot coals. The next 2 years I did it. But in her book, entitled The 4 Spiritual Laws of Prosperity, she reminded me of how well she listens to God. Basically, when she was just starting out as a minister, she went to, I think she'd just been ordained, and Unity Village helps place people. And she got an invitation to interview at Unity in Detroit, which became the Great Unity Temple of Detroit. I'm going to paraphrase this. They offered her an amazing job. She said it was beyond her wildest expectations. They offered her a condominium to live in, a wonderful salary, a car. Now, this was quite a few years ago. She's about my age or right around there. So I think this was back in her maybe 30s or 40s. Amazing job. But something just didn't feel sure about it. So she did what she always does when she has a question. She meditated and she prayed. You know, is this the right place for me? She would be associate minister. Large groups of people coming to hear her. Didn't seem quite right. So she meditated, and in meditation, she said, where should I go? Where should I do this service that I've learned? God said, Knoxville. She said, Knoxville? Okay, I'll look into Knoxville. So she went back to the Unity assignment place, and they looked in their books, and they said, oh, Edwene, there is no Unity Church in Knoxville, Tennessee. She said, huh. You get that? Something like, huh. And she thought, well, that's what Spirit told me. So she kept praying on it for another day or so, and she got a call from the placement person over at Unity Village, and she said, Edwin, you're not going to believe this. Edwin says, I believe everything. And the placement person said, I just got a phone call from somebody in Knoxville, Tennessee, saying they had a study group there, because in a lot of cities there was an originally, Unity would start as a study group, a meeting group, and then move into a church. And Wayne said, wow. And they had a phone call, and she went to go interview at Knoxville, and she got there, and the salary was very low. She says in her book it was like $600 a month. There was no car. There was no place to live, really. And it was a very small group of people. So she said, well, I had to pray on it again, and I wasn't sure. And I told the person that interviewed me, I just don't know. And they said, we're right by the Smoky Mountains, just right, the Great Smoky Mountains National Park, right near there. I said, go for a drive and think about it. Well, Edwin had a friend with her, and she told her friend, I need a message loud and clear from Spirit. I mean, this doesn't sound like, I could go to Detroit, I could, make a good living, I could talk to a lot of people, I could really make a difference up there. Then there's Knoxville, the people were great and friendly, but just not what I wanted. She said to her friend, I want a message, because she's always not afraid to ask God for a message, Spirit for a message. She said, I want a message. And I want it to be clear. And her friend said, okay, Edwin, okay. She said, I want it to be so clear like Moses in the burning bush. The friend, okay. So they're driving. Friend's driving. Edwin's looking for signs. Maybe he saw some wildlife. Little sign on the side of the road. Little sign. They almost missed it. They had to kind of back up and look at it again. It said, go here for burning brush, to burn your brush. Right. Not paintbrushes, brushes. She went, oh my goodness, but it's not quite clear. And there's an R in there. You kind of guess she maybe didn't really want to go. She really didn't want to get that message. So they just kept driving. They got up a little closer to Gatlinburg. There was more billboards and stuff. There was a very large sign for a restaurant. Visit Burning Bush Restaurant. you know, what is God saying? You have a go, right? You have a go. So they stopped in the restaurant. They had lunch or dinner and thought about it, and she did take the job in Knoxville, and she was there for some years, and I'm sure they thrived under her. But it's the message. It's you've got to go. Where is your go? Maybe think about that when that rocket ship is launching tomorrow. All that power behind it, all that energy, all that force, that's nothing compared to what Spirit has for us. That's nothing compared to what's in you to actually launch yourself. And just get that yes. To get that you can do this. To get that feeling of, wow, there are things I have not yet seen or dreamed about that are mine to experience, to explore, to know, as long as we know you have a go. So think about that this week, if you will. I'm going to share one other quick story from Edwin. It's about Myrtle. Not Myrtle Fillmore, but a woman named Myrtle. Edwin decided to go on a cruise. She wanted to go see Halley's Comet, which was going to appear in the sky in the South Pacific. So she didn't have the money to do it at the time. She thought, well, it's a cruise. Maybe we could take a cruise. And then she called a cruise director for a big cruise line and said, hey, if I get people signed up for a cruise, how many do I need in order to do it for free? And the cruise director said 14. And she said, good, I'm going to do that. And he said, and if you get 14, you get to go first class. So she had a congregation or a number of people around her, and she started talking about this cruise. And yes, indeed, they started signing up. I think she said it cost about $3,000, but everybody had to have a $100 deposit by a certain date. I think it was September 15th. So people were, turning in their $100 to secure their spot on the cruise. And this woman named Mildred said, "I'm going to go." And Edwin said, "That's great. Let me get your check. Send it to me for the $100. And she got the check and she put it aside. And a few days later, she looked at it and it was for $10. And she said, "Well, maybe Mildred didn't hear me correctly." So she talked to Mildred and she said, "Maybe you didn't quite understand. It's $100 that you have to pay to secure your spot, not 10. Mildred said, "Oh, I heard you." She gave her another check for like $9.50. And Edwin kept trying to tell her, "No, we need the whole amount by this date." Mildred kept sending a little bigger check, $12, a little bigger check. And it got to the deadline date, and Mildred had only sent in $97. And Edwin's thinking, okay, she's not even going to be able to afford the rest of it if she can't send in the $100. So she talked to Mildred again, and "I really need to give you your money back. Tomorrow is the deadline, and everything's filled up. You're not going to be able to go." And Myrtle said, "I'm going. You don't understand. I'm going." Edwin was like, "What?" So she didn't want to embarrass her anymore. She just figured, well, the ship will fill up. Myrtle's not going to send the rest of the money, and she just will be eliminated. Well, it turns out about 5 days before the ship was to leave and the cruise was to start, that a very wealthy lady in one of the cities that Edwin knew called her last minute and said, "We have a doctor's appointment going on. I'm not going to be able to travel." She said, "I know that you don't like to give refunds, so is there somebody that really, really wants to go on this cruise that you can gift with my spot?" And Edwin went, "Yeah." So Myrtle got to go on the cruise. What does that teach us? You have a go. Sometimes we don't see the path. Myrtle had that faith and that trust that God was her source, God was her supply, and she allowed it, and she got to go on the cruise. Sometimes I think we all forget. I know I do. That God is our source. God is our supply. We turn to God. It doesn't come from people. It can come through people as God, but God is our source. Our knowledge of that enhances it, enlarges it. The board and I have been talking about finances here. Our cushion seems really low, and we'd like to have a healthy cushion, so if income doesn't seem like enough, we can rely on the bank cushion to fill our needs. God is the source of that. God will supply. If you would like to support that cushion as a sense of investing in Unity Athens, a sense of ownership. Thank you, Terry, for that word the other day. Sense of ownership in Unity Athens. Please consider supporting us at this time. Anything, any gift is not too small. Nothing is too small. Nothing is too large. But consider doing that as we move into this time of what we call our sacred exchange. But before we do that, just remember one more time, perhaps close your eyes and ask Spirit, where would you have me go today? What would you have me do this week? I am open to direction. I'm open to guidance. I'm open to small signs on the side of the road of my life, and I'm open to great big billboards that literally seem to have to shout at me for me to get it. Where would you have me go? I know I always have that go. I know my rocket, my launching pad, all the different things are lining up to propel me into even greater living, greater being, greater doing, because I'm here on earth as a representative of Spirit. We hold our gifts, or the thought of our gifts, or the thought of our well-being. Let me grab my other gift. You can hold them over your heart. You can feel your prosperity. And if you're not able to give, that's okay. Because we know abundance is flowing to you. We hold our gifts over our hearts. And we say, thank you. Thank you for all the abundance in our lives. We bless it with our sacred exchange. And when we get to the God word, you can use whatever word you'd like. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am so blessed. Pause. Let's say that 2 more times. I am so blessed. 1 more time. I am so blessed. Thank you, Infinite Spirit. Amen. A women, a them, and so it is. I'm going to just pass this around. Many of you give online, just keep passing it if you want to. If you're donating at home, there's many ways to do that. UnityAthens.com is our website, and we thank you, and we see blessings in all of you and all of us. Do we have another song, Sean? We'd like. Do we like? Let's give a round. Woo, we like.
I'm out of tune enough. Shall we float down the stream where catfish and crawdaddies dream? Little boys dig in the dirt, gathering worms of the earth. We'll climb through the magnolia trees, mansions of blossoms and leaves, conspire to live without fear, escape when the coast is all clear. Where lost lovers sleep in the shade, bask in the love they have made, dance in the brief summer rain, singing a secret refrain. May our love become, may our love become, may our love become a river and flood, a river and flood. We'll wade in the oncoming waves like pirates over sea captains' graves. Bury our treasure right here, let none uninvited come near. Where stargazers fathom their birth, navigate heaven and earth. Cloud shapers see what they please, quietly fade in the breeze.
become. May our love become. May our love be. 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 May our love become a river and flood. A river and flood. A river and flood. May our love become. May our love become. May our love become. May our love be. May our love become a river and flood. A river and flood.
Woo! Yes, let's standing ovation. Woo! 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 The whole crowd going. All right. Stargazers and cloud shapers. And you wrote this song, right? It's an amazing song. It's one of my favorites. Oh, I love it so much. Yeah. Picture cloud shapers, you know? Not just when you're laying there looking, thinking, what does that cloud look like? But you're actually creating the clouds. You're creating the shapes in the clouds. It's wonderful. Stargazers, moon chasers. You got to go. You have to go. Thank you so much for being here, everyone. We really appreciate your time and your effort and your love, and thank you for being in person. Nita and I have been talking about the energy in here. It's just so wonderful when we've got people, and it's just, you can feel it. It's tangible. It's like walking into a room full of blessings, and that's what you all also are. But we also feel your blessings if you're watching on the live stream. Love to see your comments during the service. Sometimes we check them, and then afterwards. So thank you, so many of you, for being here today. Nicole, Peggy, Penny, thank you. Thank you for being here, and for all the others too, and for those that watch at a later time. We appreciate you, and we appreciate life. Kevin's giving me a signal. It's time to cut it. I'm going to bring our globe out here, and we're going to sing Peace on Earth.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now.
Anyone wants to come up and bless the globe, feel free to do that.
Every step I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Namaste, blessings, big love. Thank you for being with us today. And we all